possible through the generosity of our partners in progress. College at the Crossing in Bella Vista. The Bank of Gravette, caretakers of the Arkansas spirit. Ozark Barbecue and Smokehouse in Jane, Missouri. Smith Family Chiropractic in Bentonville. Jody Parsons Back Yonder. Simmons Sweets in Bentonville. The Arkansas-Missouri Railroad in Springdale. A.G. Russell Knives in Rogers.
This is Petra from Boca Raton, Florida, and this is the Out of the Norm Show, where the stories are all about you.
Hi, welcome to the Out of the Norm Show. We're glad you're with us today because we're going to be talking about something very special. We're talking about horses. We're not talking cowboys and pulling wagons. We're talking about horses that heal. And we're going to find out about that and much more on today's Out of the Norm Show, where the story's all about you. So please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Chocolate milk is so delicious. Not only that, but it's so nutritious. Get some in you to improve your fitness, to have you rebuilding, looking ready for business. Go on ahead and tip back your glass. Chocolate milk, fuel your blast.
Chocolate milk is almost twice as effective as commercial sports drinks for refueling exhausted muscles. Twice. Milk. Chocolate. Milk.
Do you want to help your business or organization while helping to make Northwest Arkansas a better place to live for everyone? If you're looking for a cost-effective alternative for production and fulfillment needs, consider Open Avenues, formerly known as the Adult Development Center of Benton County. With a stable and productive workforce of over 100 disabled adults, Open Avenues has solutions to your needs. To learn more, contact Eddie Duncan at 479-636-5082. Open Avenues, capable people, quality work.
When my dad went away, it made me very sad. My mama cried, and she didn't want anybody to know where he was. When other kids did stuff with their dads, it made me sad again. Then some nice people brought Charlie to my house. He told me jokes and made me laugh. He picks me up every week, and we have a lot of fun. I don't feel sad anymore. They call Charlie a mentor, but I call him my best friend.
Children of prisoners are 7 times more likely to end up incarcerated themselves. In Northwest Arkansas, over 5,000 children are at risk. You can help break that cycle. Become a HIP mentor and give a child a brighter tomorrow by providing hope, inspiration, and protection today.
Hey, welcome back to the Out of the Norm Show. Who's in a very special place today. I'm with Debbie Sturdivant, who is the operations director of a beautiful ranch here that serves special purposes, and it all has to do with horses. Thanks for coming with us today. I'm glad to be out here.
Thank you for coming. Here at Horses for Healing, we use horses to help children with special needs. We have children here that have physical, mental, or emotional challenges, some with learning disabilities. For the children that have physical disabilities, the motion of the horse actually simulates walking. So when they're on the horse, the motion actually helps their body. They're moving just like they were walking. It helps their coordination, their balance, and it really makes them feel good about themselves, too. Some of these children might be in wheelchairs or have to use crutches, and they have to depend on others to take care of them. When they're on the horse, it gives them empowerment. They're the ones telling the horse where to go, how fast to go, what to do, and it just opens up a new world to them. For children with learning disabilities, the horses are a great motivational tool. I wish I could have learned my numbers or my letters on the back of a horse, but these children are working on the same goals that they're working at home at school. It might be following directions, paying attention, learning their numbers, learning to to read, but we can use all of those, use our tools and use the horse to help these children gain those goals.
Now, where did the vision for this project come from?
Okay, about 20 years ago, a friend of mine, Harriet Hayburn, we met, and I was giving her daughter horseback riding lessons, and I found out that she had always wanted to do something with horses and children with special needs. And we had a local school who wanted to come out and just do like a field trip, and so I asked Harriet if we could use her pony, and she says, let's not just do a field trip, let's go and see what we can learn about this, and if you would help me, I think we can really make this a huge success. And so we learned about NARA, which used to be called North American Riding for the Handicapped Association, but now it has grown throughout the world, so they don't go by that name anymore. It's not just about riding. There are some programs through NARA that are on the ground. You use groundwork to help. And disabilities or disabled is not the word to use anymore. So they just go by NARA right now, and we are a NARA accredited center. But we learned about NARA, and we started with a small group of 17 children, and within a few months we had 75 children, and for probably the past 10-15 years we've had as many as 400 each year come through our doors. But you started out in a much smaller ranch than you have now, though, didn't you? Yes, we were between Rogers and Bentonville in northwest Arkansas. We had less than 20 acres, a nice barn that Harriet Hayburn built, and a covered arena. Probably about 5 years ago, we knew we needed to find a larger property. We had plans to build a much larger arena. We knew that there was such a need in northwest Arkansas. We did a needs assessment study, and we found out that there are over 10,000 children with special needs in the 4 counties of northwest Arkansas that could be using our services. And we knew we could never take care of 10,000, but we hoped to do more than the 400 that we had been doing. So we were able to trade our property for 75 beautiful acres, and right now we're slowly but surely making new additions to our facility and adding new staff where we can have more children come out. What kind of programs do you do? I mean, we talked about riding already, but I mean, the people who are volunteers, or do you have professional staff? How does that work? Well, our staff is professional. All of our instructors are certified through NARA. We do have a maintenance staff and administrative staff also, but we really depend on our volunteers. We have close to 130 volunteers that help us out each session, and we have 6 sessions a year. And those volunteers come out for a mandatory 4-hour workshop where they learn how to work with the children and how to work with the horses. The children, we have a contract with the Rogers and the Bentonville school districts, so their special ed classes come out in the mornings. We have 2 buses come out each morning, and it's so fun greeting the bus. The children are so excited and just having a great time. When they come, we divide them into 3 groups. They can have as many as 15 kids on the bus. We divide them into 3 groups, and they rotate between stable management, where they learn about horse care, and in turn we parallel that into self-help skills for themselves. They have classroom time where they get a snack and they work on a craft or some kind of an activity that correlates to what they learned in the stable management. And then we have the mounted lesson where they're actually on the horse. And all 3 rotations work on the goals that these children are working at home or at school. So, it might be paying attention, following directions, like we had talked before, learning their numbers, reading skills, sequencing, but it's so much fun. The children don't even realize that it's therapy. This is something that they can do and enjoy to the fullest. Too many times, these children are left on the sidelines. They're watching their friends or their siblings playing sports, do things. And I said before, these children are the last ones chosen to play a sport, but the first ones to be picked on, to be made fun of because they might look different and act differently. But out here at Horses for Healing, they can feel good about themselves, and how important is that? I mean, everyone needs to know what it's like to feel good about themselves. So they can feel good about themselves and do something that, hey, look what I can do. And it's just amazing to see the progress and to see what we call our little miracles. We have children who have never spoken out loud before, who say their first words, who have never walked before, who take their first steps, who were always too shy or too embarrassed because they didn't understand a question they were being asked, much less even know the answer, who are now in class raising their hand because they learned what it felt like to be successful, and they're not afraid to try now.
So it's not just about a disability or a physical or mental challenge. It's more about, it's also self-esteem and confidence and those kind of things.
You bet. I mean, they come out here and they just feel great about themselves, and they make such wonderful friends. The horses are so kind and patient, and the volunteers, they make great friends with the volunteers, and it's fun. I go out in the community, maybe shopping, and I see these kids that we've had in the barn, and they'll look at me because they see me in a different situation. You know, I'm not in my barn clothes, and then they'll look, Miss Debbie, you know, how's my horse? How's JJ? You know, because they're so excited, and it's just fun seeing these kids grow. And I've even seen children, since we've done this for 20 years, I've seen children who came out to the program who their parents just didn't know what they were going to do, that they knew that they'd be taking care of them their whole lives. Maybe their teachers, their aides were just at their wits' end, saying, you know, I just don't think anything we can do with this child is going to make them come out of themselves. I see these same children out there as adults being contributing members of society. They might be taking the money at the drive-through window at Wendy's or something, but they are working. They're contributing members of society, and these are the kids that were falling through the cracks, and people thought they'd never be able to be on their own.
Now, with the ranch being 75 acres, you're very well equipped here as well. Is most of these donations?
Yes. The horses are mostly donated. We do accept donations for horses, but we need to have them for at least 30 days to check them out. This is a very difficult job. These horses work just as hard as they do if there were show horses or whatever, they do work hard. They have lots of riders. A lot of the riders are unbalanced, so it takes a very special horse. And some of our children ride independently, too. It's not just being led around. Some of our children have gained enough skills that they even go to competitive horse shows. And these aren't horse shows against other children with special needs. These are against able-bodied peers, and they're very competitive. So we have really nice horses, and those horses continue to go through training year-round. It's just an amazing program, and we have great volunteers who help us. The community helps us so much. So it's a great place to work.
But also there are special programs that you guys are involved with, like you were telling me about Special Olympics off camera. But tell us a little bit about that and what the preparation is for Special Olympics.
Okay, well, the class that's here today that comes on Tuesdays, they have to work for 10 weeks to work on their skills so they can be involved in our Special Olympics equestrian event that's held this year. It's going to be held May 17th here at the barn. And those children do ride. Some of them ride independently, some don't, but it is sanctioned by the Special Olympics. And we do have classes that come that aren't involved in Special Olympics, and they still work on those same skills.
What kind of skills would they need to develop for a Special Olympics competition, even though it's not a competition?
Okay. But mostly it's telling the horse either through their voice, or some of them who cannot talk, they can do it through a hand gesture to ask their horse to walk on, controlling that walk on and halt of a horse. Some of them are steering the horse. They show their balance and coordination on the horse through different activities.
Well, and you mentioned they also are learning grooming and taking care of animals. What kind of things are they learning in there?
Well, when they groom, it could be sequencing, or even how important it is to take care of yourself. Keep yourself clean, keep your hair brushed, keep your fingernails clean. When they're putting on a saddle, it's sequencing, learning this part goes first, the next goes second. In turn, how to dress yourself and how important that is. We talk about horseshoes and parallel that to your own shoes and how appropriate it is to wear certain shoes for certain jobs.
Wow, that's really neat, though. I mean, because they're learning a lot about self-discipline at the same time, and the horses are just kind of the pal in the middle of it all.
Yeah, that's right. Just the great motivator.
The great motivator. It's obviously not an inexpensive thing to operate when you have a 75-acre ranch and doing the services that you do. Where does the money come from? Is it a federal grant, or is there federal money involved in it? Or?
No, there's no federal money at all. We depend on our community. We do write grants. We have fundraising events. next week, the 16th and 17th of April, we're having a horse show at Benton County Fairgrounds. We have golf tournaments. Our big event of the year is a barn dance that we hold in June. This year will be June 11th, and it's a huge event that we have here at the barn. We have dancing and food, and we actually auction off some of our ponies. People bid for the chance to support the horses for a year, so that's a big deal.
So it's like an adoption program.
Yes, but they don't take the ponies home.
Right.
They stay here, but yeah, they support that horse for a year. And it's funny, some of these people, they really get excited about bidding. They want to get the same pony each year, so it's a lot of fun. And they get their picture with the pony. And,
a little sense of ownership.
Yes, yes.
And the kids feel that sense of ownership
as
well.
They definitely do. They're each assigned a horse or a pony, and that's the same one they ride, and they learn all about that horse, you know, the breed of the horse, the age, all different kind of characteristics, which is important too. They learn about horse characteristics, which are fun, and then in turn they learn about people characteristics, and how wonderful it is, diversity. You know, how some of the horses look different, some are short, some are tall, just like people are short and tall.
But the program's not limited to just the school year either, is it?
No, it runs year-round.
So children are coming out all year round?
Yes, they are. You know, we have the schools during the school year, but then we have several sessions during the summer months too. So we stay busy year-round.
Wow. And how many instructors do you have?
We have 3 certified instructors right now.
So they're handling 400 kids.
Oh, yes. We stay busy. And we all have other jobs, too. So we need our volunteers. Our volunteers are worth their weight in gold.
Do you need more volunteers?
We can always use more volunteers.
What kind of training and things do a volunteer need to go through?
Well, we do have a mandatory workshop that's usually around 4 hours, depending on how many come. And during that time, they learn how we would like our horses to be handled and how to work with the children. You get 5 cowboys, and they're each going to have a different way to handle a horse, and they're all correct. But for our horses, when you get so many different handlers, it can be very confusing for the horses, and that's the easiest way to burn out your horses. So we show them the ways that work best for us in our programming with our horses. And so they come and they learn about the horses, and you don't have to be a horse person. Either, you know, but you do learn, and a lot of people come here just because they want to learn more about horses, and then they fall in love with the children.
Do you have people from other parts of the country who are trying to do similar programs come out to kind of learn from you?
We do, and in turn, our program has been allowed to go and visit other programs too. You can always learn, and that's the thing with NARA. They have annual conferences, regional conferences, state conferences, that they're really big on education, and all of our instructors have to receive 20 hours of continued education each year. That's part of our certification process to continue with our certification. And so that networking with other programs and other horse people really means a lot to all of us.
Do you encourage the public to come out and tour the ranch?
Oh, that's for sure, because like I said, we could not do this without the community. You know, they help us with donations. They're our volunteers. They're out there telling other people. They come to our events. And, you know, this is a community project.
Well, it's making a better citizen in the community, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
Creating better citizens. Well, that's really neat. So if we wanted to make a donation or if we wanted to come out, what are your hours and those things?
There's usually someone here from 7 till 8 just about every day. But if you wanted to come just to make certain, because we do have a small staff, you know, we're all going all different directions, it would be best to call and make an appointment.
But they are welcome to come out.
They are welcome to come. Oh, yes, we'd love to have you come out and watch the kids.
And especially the special events.
You bet.
How about a website?
Okay, yes, we do have a website. That's www.horsesforhealingnwa.org.
All right, Horses for Healing.
NWA.
Northwest Arkansas, right, okay.
.org.
Okay, we'll put that on the screen.
All right.
Well, this is fantastic. I'll take my mic back now. This has been the Out of the Debbie show. Boy, she's so full of energy and excitement. Well, I'm just excited about seeing the kids, and this is very uplifting for me as well. There's something spiritual about it as well as physical. There's just something that just opened your heart up to these young'uns.
That's for certain. We love our kids.
Well, we're going to keep loving them too. Well, thanks for joining us today, and just take a look around, and we're going to watch some of the kids ride and just kind of hang out here a while.
Well, thank you for coming, and we hope the community comes out and visits us anytime.
All right. Hey, we're going to be back in just a second. Guess where we're going next? We're going to go eat some crawfish down on the Kemah waterfront just south of Houston, Texas. So don't go away because I'm already getting hungry just thinking about it. We'll be right back on the Out of the Norm show where the story's all about you.
That's my friend, Cole. And that's me, Ilya. Ever since we got teamed up by Canine Companions for Independence, people don't think of Cole as the kid in the wheelchair anymore. Now he's the kid with a really cool dog. Personally, I think Cole's pretty cool too. To find out how you can help bring people like Cole together with dogs like me, visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy Belknap with some summer healthcare tips for your outdoor dog. Water is simply the most important thing we can remind you of in the summer. Fresh, clean water provided at least twice a day in a non-tip bowl. Dehydration can be deadly, and it's certainly no fun to be thirsty. Your pet's eating habits may change as well. Eating during the hot part of the day is certainly not recommended. So we always recommend that you provide food for your pet early in the morning and again later in the evening. Don't leave food out all day. It can attract bugs and insects. And leaving food out all night attracts wild animals and perhaps predators. And shelter is important for our pets in the summer. Shelter from the sun certainly keeps them from overheating and provides comfort. Remember, when you look at your pet's environment, what is available as shade in the morning isn't always available as shade throughout the day. Make sure your pet has shelter from the sun throughout the day. Your dog's exercise needs to be modified in the summer as well. Walking a dog in the heat of the day is not good for it. It can burn the pads of their feet if they're on cement or pavement. Make sure that your dog gets mental and physical stimulation in the summer, but do it early in the morning and later in the evening. And no list could be complete without the reminder that no dog should be left in a car in the summer unattended. Any small enclosure and small area without adequate air circulation overheats very quickly. It certainly can become an oven in seconds, in minutes, and many animals die from that every year. We want to make sure your pet stays healthy and has a great summer, so take good care, and remember they have feelings too.
Hi, it's the Out of the Norm show in Kemah Boardwalk in Kemah, Texas. Boy, we are having a great time today. The food is so good here. The music's great. The weather's perfect. People are fishing and sailing, doing all kinds of things around us. I don't know. There may be some surprises a little bit later on. We're going to take you on a tour of the boardwalk today and talk about some of the restaurants, some of the rides, some of the folks who are visiting here. It's just a perfect day. Hope you enjoy this version of the Out of the Norm show because, after all, the story's all about you.
Each year, 59% of people suffering from Alzheimer's and other dementia disorders will roam away from safety with a 9-hour search time. With Project Lifesaver, 30 minutes or less will find your loved one. It's a simple wristband receiver with sophisticated tracking abilities and special training by your police department. Call the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Contact Deputy Doug Gay at 479-271-1008. Project Lifesaver. Bring your loved ones home.
America has seen much change in the past 10 years. Terrorism, wars, natural disasters, and historical elections. What hasn't changed is the mission of Head Start. The goal at EOA Head Start, Early Head Start, has been to empower families to break the circle of poverty and to invest in our future by educating children and building stronger communities. Learn how you can support EOA Head Start, Early Head Start by calling 479-521-5571. Serving Washington County since 1965. It's that time of year again. Beaver Lake is the major source for drinking water in northwest Arkansas. The lake naturally turns over each year, creating a short period of taste and odor in the water. The water is still clean and safe to drink. Visit Beaver Water District's website at bwdh2o.org for information on what the lake and its watershed mean to us all. Beaver Lake. You drink it every day.
Boy, nothing beats some fresh Gulf seafood right there on Galveston Bay, just south of Houston. It's about 45 minutes south of Houston, right in Kemah, Texas. There's plenty of rides and activities for kids and families. It's all owned by the Landry Seafood Company, which is based out of Louisiana. But there's 9 different restaurants here as well with some fabulous food. There's Landry Seafood. That's a great place to sit outside and have some nice seafood, fresh shrimp, and those kind of things. But again, those kids all come for the rides, including the 65-foot-tall merry-go-round, which is a really neat place there. I like Babin Seafood for an afternoon appetizer, but my favorite was still heading back down the boardwalk to some of the other favorite restaurants like the original Joe's Crab Shack, which is located right there on the water, and the Cadillac Mexican restaurant serving authentic Tex-Mex food. And here's my destination, hot-boiled crawfish at the Flying Dutchman. You can sit outside. There's an open bar, as well as it's right next to the canal, so you can watch the boats come and go and have a big bowl of gumbo and a glass of wine and just, oh my goodness, it's just such a good afternoon. There's some stuffed flounder with some fresh vegetables or fried shrimp, fried oysters, and a little Tabasco sauce. But here's my favorite. I came for the crawfish, and I tell you, I feel like I ate my weight in crawfish. There's also the scenery. It's pretty nice around there. Not only on the water, but there's a lot of people having a lot of fun. They're bringing their family and kids out for this particular weekend. And the big boat taking folks up and down Galveston Bay out there, a little party boat. This is actually at the Flying Dutchman restaurant, and I really enjoyed that. If you're out for a sail for the afternoon, this is a great place to come out of. You're out of the hustle bustle of the city, or you might even find somebody taking a picture of someone taking a picture, and that's what we saw. Here's a guy and his son out fishing. Maybe they catch a few flounder or maybe some redfish who might be running. In the meantime, bring the little ones and head to the Splash Park, because there's live music there every afternoon, and the kids are just having a ball, even in springtime, because it gets really hot in that part of Texas. And they'll be playing in those waters all the way up until November, I'm sure. Part of the boardwalk was destroyed during Hurricane Ike in 2009, but they've completely rebuilt it. There's 9 restaurants, all the rides. It's very inexpensive to go. There's no admission fee to get into the park. You just pay for individual rides. If you just want to go and have dinner, you're free to do that and have a great time. Or you may want to stay at the Kemah Inn, and this is a beautiful hotel overlooking the boardwalk and all the activities below, including the tourist train that takes you all around the amusement park. The Kemah Boardwalk, as I said, it's about 20 miles south of Houston, right on Galveston Bay. So you can enjoy a great afternoon there. If nothing else, just watching the shrimp boats come in with a fresh load of some of that Gulf shrimp that we all just love. Oh boy. And the view from the boardwalk tower is even better because it gives you a proximity of where you are. You can see Galveston Bay stretching out. Now, Galveston Bay, even though it's a pretty good-sized body of water, the average depth of it is only about 8 feet. So it's fairly shallow out there. And there's some of the 9 restaurants at the Kemah Boardwalk, and it's also the home of the 3rd largest marina in the United States. And boy, there's hundreds of boats out there, and those folks hit those boats every weekend. But in the meantime, the kids are out having a good time on the rides, and you're right on the water, and nothing beats a sunset on the Gulf of Mexico or on Galveston Bay in South Texas.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Kemah Boardwalk in Kemah, Texas, just south of Houston. I've had a great time today, not only enjoying all the kids and the music and the festivities, but in particular the food. We hope you'll join us again very soon on another Out of the Norm show, because after all, the story could be all about you.
I'll never miss the days of smelling the rain on a field that's freshly plowed, or the Sunday morning sounds of a country church choir singing Just As I Am. Cooking greens in the spring or a catfish fry, things I'll never do without. Hearing I Love You with a long southern drawl, that's my favorite song of the South. Going home's not a hard thing to do. I just close my eyes and see me there with you. You can't go far from things that are so dear and true, like loving the south and me just loving you.